Okay, I didn't get any videos uploaded on Friday. Usually I try to do them on weekends, but this week I've been taking care of my aunt. So, everything has kind of been shifted back. So, today I wanted to talk about hedgerows. Most people are familiar with hedgerows from, like, England, where, well, they have lots of water for one thing. So, putting trees in, you know, like if you took willows and stuck willows in the ground, they would grow without having to water them. So it's a little different there in that they have plentiful water. So if you're in an area with lots of water, this might be a really good option for you. The reason I'm interested in it is because I have goats, and where we only have 1.5 acres, I do have enough grazing for them. I don't feed them hay during the summer, but they are not terribly fond of grass and alfalfa. What they really want is twigs and weeds and bushes and leaves and that kind of thing. So this is a book that I really like. Herbal Handbook for Farm and Stable by Julianne de Levi. And what she talks about is her experience with gypsies in Europe. And in other, let's see, where did she say? She kind of went all over the world, but mostly she loved gypsies and really absorbed their medical, their herbal lore. And what she really adores in this book is hedgerows with medicinal herbal plants in them, so that when the animals are grazing, they can pick and choose for themselves what it is that will make them well. And Sepp Holzer believes in the same thing. He plants medicinal and even poisonous herbs in the borders of his pastures, and even in his pastures, so that his animals can eat them and use them to get rid of sickness and parasites. Now, I have my animals on a tether system because goats don't stay in fences very well. If they get munchy enough, they'll jump the fence. And, well, I have a neighbor with fruit trees, and I have a neighbor with wheat fields. If my goats jump those, they could kill my neighbor's fruit trees, and they could also do serious damage to my other neighbor's wheat fields, and I would be liable for those. So for me, a tether system really works well. Now, that being said, if I have them on a tether system, that doesn't mean I couldn't take them on little walks every day past medicinal herbs and let them pick and choose little nibbles of this and little nibbles of that, and let them get that. So that is what I'm trying really hard to get established. I'm planting much of it in my backyard the first year so that I have seed. I use Horizon herbs, and I have had great success growing them in my house, and some things I've had success growing outside. My problem has been that I don't want to have to buy seed to go broadcast out into my fields, because that's pretty much what you need to be able to do. You need to be able to broadcast them so they'll come up on their own and then self-seed. Either be perennials or be self-seeding annuals. So I have a lot of bushes that would be considered weed bushes, things like autumn olive and maybe butterfly bush, things that are pernicious, kind of. They like to spread. Well, if you have goats, then they'll kind of hold them back for you. You can clip them and then they'll grow again, and you can clip them and grow them again, and you can take them to your goats, or you can bring your goats to graze on them. But that's what I'm really hoping to do, is do a medicinal hedge this year. We'll see if we get as overwhelmed with watering as we did last year, because my soil didn't have enough mulch on it in my larger pastures. They didn't have enough mulch on them, and so they weren't able to absorb all the snow melt that would have made them able to last through the year. So hopefully this year we can get enough mulch on them and get the chickens on them so that they can start holding their own water, instead of me having to water them from myself. Because in the backyard where we have enough mulch, the trees don't need to be watered. The tomatoes don't need to be watered. Nothing needs to be watered in the backyard. And that's my goal, to be around all my hedges and trees, is that I won't have to give outside watering. They'll be able to hold the water from the snow melt because that's pretty much the only time we really get substantial water here. And I really don't want to be spending my weekends watering in 90-degree weather with yellow jackets around. It was a hard winter, or it was a hard summer. So anyway, Herbal Handbook for Farm and Stable, and she has amazing. It seems like she uses the same herbs for everything, and I think kind of what it boils down to is the animals need variety in their food as much as we do, and that if we can get things that'll survive in our own area and get them to be perennial or self-feeding in our pastures, then we don't have to worry about trying to purchase medicine for our animals.